Hello, this is Godel. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions, and it looks like my little setup here has broken overnight. That's really fun. Um, this is just from... I had set it to go overnight, and it looks like it ran for a while, but then broke inexplicably, so that's cool. But we did get 4 stacks of aluminum, so... Um, there we go, 4 stacks of aluminum cooking up. And I forgot if I said, but welcome to Feed the Beast Interactions Remastered. Let me see what I need to do to fix this. We might just need to move the starlight back and then put this little drainage hole, like move the drainage hole there and then make the starlight appear here. I don't know. Let me take a look here. What went wrong exactly? I'm gonna have to make a hole in here somehow, or we can go behind the logistic pipe here. There's a small little access port here. Um, oh yeah, there's not a hole there anymore because I filled it in. And my whatever boots that I picked up while fighting mobs just broke. That's fun. Let's block that in right there, and then let's break this stone brick that's underneath over there. And there, okay, the trash can is blocking it on this side. That's good. And then let's put a block in here to stop the flow into that tile, and the lava should just go down. Break that, and then let's put a new bucket of liquid starlight, and that should fix that. Hopefully. Um, that lava cannot flow any further into this tile space. I am worried about that liquid starlight flowing into that lava space, because if it does that, then it's going to make the sand over there, but I guess we're just going to have to see what it does. And once again, this doesn't do anything, right? I don't think it does. But, I mean, there goes. Um, we'll see if this setup is stable, and we will see if we're stuck, if it breaks again. If it breaks again, we're gonna relocate this. We'll set up a longer run of Starlight or something. I don't know. We'll just have them, like, connecting at the end, and, yeah, hopefully that's gonna be not a problem. But let's just go ahead and make sure it's still working. Yeah, it's still working as of right this second. Grinding up the clay. Didn't get enough to electrolyze. That's totally fine, though, and expected, so. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's go see what I did between last episode. Nothing, actually, because this is almost directly after the previous session, just like in the morning, so. Um, not a whole lot has changed. I guess today is the day to start on. I know I put chemistry at the top over here, but like really we gotta do. I feel like we need to do diesel first. So let's do a little bit of diesel processing, huh? Let's go and get. Um, I guess we have our pump. So that's going to be part of oil. The next thing is going to be remote power. And how do we do remote power? I think the quest book had a suggested solution of using a coil plus a converter here. So let's just use a converter. And I don't know why we need to use the 4 amp converter. Just because it's like the one the quest book says we gotta use. I'm half tempted to add the actual converter I need in here, but I'll go ahead and make one of those 4 amp converters. Maybe it'll be useful in the future. So let's go ahead, LV converter, 4 amp. Just make, actually here, let me, instead of clicking from there, let me click from in here just to make sure we are getting the right one. Bookmark this guy. And we're definitely going to need to make these cables ourselves, but let's do the machine hole in the meantime. And the circuit, just to have them come on their way. For this guy, I think we can just do this recipe. Sure, that works. I think it's going to have to go craft all the wires, though. Yeah, it's even going to have to craft the ingots, so that's going to take a second. Let's do the tin wires as well in the meantime. Alright. So we can help it along by speeding this up over here. Ooh, I just saw like a big stutter in the processing over here. Maybe I need to, do I have lag goggle installed? Lag goggle. No, I do not have lag goggle installed. I might need to grab that at some point just to, make sure we're not like making any crazy lag machine somewhere. Alright, but here's our converter. Quest complete. And I will take a Spectre Coil. So Spectre Coil is a... It would really, they can be found in dungeons and or quest reward, and they basically give infinite power forever for free. Except they give a low amount as far as like power generation is concerned. So while it is some power, we're going to have to figure out what we're like gonna do for places where we need more power. But this is gonna be perfect for like a punk, which does not use a lot of power. It'd also be good for like a miner. Because basically this is generating 1 amp of LV power, and that's more than what we need for our MV pump even. MV pump just does not need a lot of power. How are we going to get the fluid back? That's the next question. So I think there's something called, in random things mod, there's like a wireless node of some kind. Is it in random things? I don't remember if it's in random things or cyclic. Maybe it's in cyclic. Let's see, cyclic. This thing, the fluid transfer node. We can make all of this, I believe. Let's go ahead and cook this up. I do believe we have all of the stuff we need. And this is basically going to let us send oil to arbitrary location. And this is what we send it with, is these GPS markers. So let's go ahead and bookmark that, because I'm probably gonna lose this. So we need graphite plates. Oh, we don't have any graphite plates, huh? We do have graphite, though, so that's not a big deal. I'm just gonna go put some to compress into plates in our compressor over here. We still don't really have our compressor set up for automation. I should do that, but we don't like compress a whole lot of stuff, so it hasn't been a pressing thing for me. Shifting star, we're gonna have to go upstairs to Astral Sorcerer to make steel drum. Let's go ahead and make that and the Eye of Redstone. So steel drum over here, we need long steel rods. I'm just gonna make them with a hammer. Why do we have so many hammers in here? Alright, steel drum, it should be good to go now. Just order the steel. Alright, there's our steel drum. I forget if there's a quest for that, but we don't need it if there is. We're going to need to make this resonating redstone, and I do believe we have an ender shard, because I hunted some endermen last time. So here we go. Here is our... Just pulling it into my inventory just in case there's a quest for it. You never know. Alright, and now we just need the shifting star and the graphite plate. Okay, let's go ahead and get the pumps on the way. Those have to craft up, so give them an opportunity to craft. Here's our graphite plates. And then let's go to remind ourselves what a shifting star takes. Yes. Okay, so illumination powder. I don't know if this is actually up there at Astral Sorcery, so let me just grab what's down here. I don't know why there's marble pillars down here. Marble? Let me just bring like all of this marble up with me. Oh, gotta click the actual marble there. Do we need more fine steel wires to make more rune marble? I don't know if we have rune marble upstairs, so let's go look, and then I will run back here if we need. Oh yeah, and let me eat, because overnight I just starved to death, so that's always fun. Okay, yeah, we do have rune marble, so we're good in that regard. So 4 aquamarine, 4 rune marble, 2 diamonds. Whoops, I should have brought those up with me. Rune marble, and then 2 diamonds and 2 starlight buckets, I think it was. Yeah, 1 starlight bucket. We don't have any buckets up here. Oh, I have one in my inventory. We're good, we're good. Okay. Just go ahead and toss that in here. Let's go back to home. Oh, I'm wearing the mitt, so it didn't even matter, but still. And diamond. Ooh, we're kind of low on diamonds down here. We need to go hit up a diamond vein at some point. I've only vaguely tapped a diamond vein, and that's why we have diamond appearing in the chest but not being visible. That's why we have a few, but not like a great deal of them, so. Alright, let's go get our shifting star put in there, get our resonating wand. Also, I put my linking wand away. Anything else astral that I have on me? I claimed this potion of unhunger from... Oh, goodness. You're not supposed to be up here. How did you get up here? Does Lucerna not reach over here? Lucerna has betrayed us. Anyways, maybe that's a sign that we need to get a more powerful ritual, or... I don't know, can we, like, feed it starlight, maybe? Let's try feeding it some starlight. For that, we're going to need a relay, and then we're going to need 4 chiseled and 4 arches, and then a glass lens. And let's see if this helps. So let's go back to /home. And then I'll just plop it right over here. So I believe the arches go on the side. And then the chisels go on the outside. Oh, and we need a sooty marble. Okay. Let me see if I have a sooty down here. Though I just pulled all the marble out, so I'm going to say nope, we do not. Also, we are now hungry, so let me get one of these out here. I need to put more marshmallow and kuhush in here. Kuhush? I still don't know how to say that word, sorry. Kohosh? Is it just Kohosh? And I'm just, like, really overcomplicating it for no reason. Alright, Kohosh, and then I think it was also out of fuel, so let's grab some sticks. Oops, don't need 2 stacks of sticks, just 1 stack of sticks is fine. So there's a marshmallow, and here's the sticks, and... Oh, okay. This makes regeneration 2, and we put regeneration... We had regeneration 1 in there, which is fine for the moment, but... Sooty marble is what we needed from up here. Grab one of those, and this is correct, right, with the chiseled on the side? Yes, it is. Okay. So go over here, and sooty marble... I missed. There we go. Put our relay. And then put the lens. And does this, like, do anything? You know, something tells me that it's not doing anything. In fact, something tells me the ritual is not working because it's just, like, not glowing at all. Did I, like, break it by covering it on accident? Oh, yeah, okay. I must have. Can't have it covered. Okay, let's scoot this over here then. Let me build this to be completely non-intersecting with that. Alright, this and this. 3, 4. So it doesn't really look like it's providing extra starlight for the ritual. Because it usually puts like some particles, right? Like I think we can go up in our astral sorcery setup and see. Yo, how long have you been bouncing here, dude? Take a break. Yeah, we can see these little particles flowing towards the altar over here. Um, I'll just grab some torches for up here. Like for now, I mean, I'm guessing if there is a place that they're spawning, it's gonna be like over here towards these darker corners. So I'll just light those up. We still need a few more to kind of light up along the edge here, because the ritual is like over here. So if it is like barely clipping only the edge of the island here, then we're not missing too much. I haven't had any cows spawning over here though, which is good, I guess. Um, okay, got really distracted here. Anyways, let's get our fluid transfer node going finally. And to use the fluid transfer node, we're going to need GPS markers, and these should be pretty easy to make. I don't think we have any light blue dye, though. Let's make some really quick. So light blue dye is either going to be blue orchids or, which we do have, but we have a lot of actual blue dye. So let me see if I can just make blue dye with some kind of white dye. We can search for dye white. And let me see. Bone meal is an option. Floral powder is annoying. We don't have this. We don't have that. We might have some white plants, but... Oh, Valley of the Lily. Lily of the Valley. That's actually perfect, because we are not going to use these for anything else in all likelihood. And we could use it for petals, but you know what? I'm going to use it for white dye right now anyways, so... There we go. And then let's use some lapis dust. We can just use dust, actually. We don't need to use the actual crystal. And there we go. Got some light blue dye. Let's make some GPS markers now. I'm just going to make 2 for the moment. Okay. Okay. And I took the illumination powder back home. That was silly of me. Whoops. And I also did not put the kuhush in the kohosh. I think it's actually kohosh. I should probably just stop saying it weird and just say kohosh, right? So this is how this is going to work. First of all, we're going to need some kind of like scaffold or building block. And I think we can use one of these replaceable scaffolds. I think that will be good. So let's go ahead and get some replaceable scaffold. Because I think this lets us place... Oh, we're out of sticks in our storage. Oh, no. Get a bunch of sticks. We always are going to have a use for sticks. We'll never be meant to see those. Wait for them to get into the storage. There we go. 16 should be plenty for our needs. So I think these we can just like place in midair. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And then they just break, or I can use a block on them. Okay, cool. So let's go and find some oil. Well, we don't really need to find the oil so much because we know where it is. But I will need to figure out where to actually send the oil, but that can be a me in a few moments problem. Let's go and find the oil first. And let's eat some food. Because my character's a hungry boy, and all I have to feed is these crap foods that's in my inventory. Do I have anything else? Any other foods that I can just pop in here? Oh, what just happened? I don't want plums and gooseberries and potato. Oh, what did you do? Why did you put like a bunch of crap in my lunchbox? Oh, what did I have? I had wild berry, I guess is fine. I had mineral berries, just like a giant stack of them. I had fruit salad, fruit punch. some cooked squid and something else I think I had in here. I need to step away for a moment. Ooh, I had to step away so long that it's become nighttime now, so we missed our opportunity to go into the ocean and get some oil, or did we? How about if we use some of these sunlight drops that we picked up from all those cows we used to be murdering? Oh yeah, and then let me fill my lunchbox with these foods I have been eating. Fruit punch. Can I just put berries in here again? Yeah, sure. Berries and cream. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Sunlight drop, go. Hey, would you look at that? It is, I'm actually wondering what time it is, actually. Time, so JED, time. Dimension is, we're in 100. Game, query game time? Okay, it didn't set it to 0, like a lot of, what's it called do? Apologies, I just opened a pop. Some mods just set the time to 0 to make it daytime. I'm like, oh, that seems incorrect. Okay, so we got our glider. We have our liquid starlight on us, so let's get rid of that. And then we can take our glove off. And yeah, let's just look for some oil. So oil is going to be in ocean biomes. All these little spouts we see. Oh, we have a lot of oil here actually. But those are all um like little oil spouts we can harvest. And it looks like this one to our south is the closest, so just looking over here. Yeah, we don't really have too much in the way of other directions. Oh, and one thing you might have noticed is that I removed all of our markers around us for ore because we have our ore prospector, and that lets us just mark them on the map with the built-in functionality over here. Why is there so much snow over here? Oh my goodness. Anyways, so we now have access to see all the ores on our map. I haven't scanned a lot outside of our base yet, but we do have that just visible in our around our base area. So I went ahead and got rid of that. Anyways, let us go ahead and fly over to the ocean. Since this is going to be so quick, yeah, look at just all the snow right here for some random reason. Um, let's get over to a oil well. Here's one. We can just hit the first oil well, like the closest one. No shame in that, and hopefully no sea serpents are in the area. Ruin our day. Okay, we're gonna have to whoops. Well, I wanted to try to place this mid-air, but the right click of the glider took precedent over the right click of placing the block, so um let's just okay, thank you for this. This is not quite where I want it. Gonna need to have one in the water here to actually be able to build. There we go. Now with this we can get up. And once we have our platform up here, like, built, it'll be easier. Also, why does this place so weirdly? I do not like how this places, but we really don't have to get too far with it. We can get up here to the level we want to be, and then we can build some stone. This is... we want to be up one more. Okay, so this is the top of the oil spout here. Alright, let me grab some of these blocks really quick. And, okay. Whoops. Get the scaffold out of my offhand. So this is set now. Let's put our converter, and then let's put our coil on it. That's going to make a bunch of EU out of like thin air, basically. The quest pack gave it to me, so not me. We're gonna put our pump. Very nice. There it goes, and it operates every 2 seconds. It gets a bucket, and the output slot is that slot there. We could rotate it, but we don't need to. So there we go. We have output it into the cyclic fluid transfer node. So now all we need to do is we need to specify a target location for this with the GPS marker. So we'll be back once we... I didn't bring any light sources for this platform. That's cool. But we'll be back once we have a place for the oil to actually go. In the meantime, it's just going to pump up what it can. And it doesn't do anything, if I recall, it doesn't do anything special down here underneath. No, it's just kind of like virtually pumping up the oil, so we won't actually see anything. Oh, you can climb on the side of the scaffolding. Well, that would have been good to know. One more thing we need to do is we need to claim some chunks around it to make sure it actually operates. And it looks like I'm out of loaded chunks, so I'm going to need to go and set more chunks to be chunk loaded so that this doesn't like miss a whole big glob of the vein down here, which we cannot see. Anyways, let me get up here. Whoa. Did not expect to suddenly start climbing. Let me pick all the scaffold up. And then let us go back to home base. We need to figure out where we're going to select the, where we're going to send the oil into, and then we need to also clear up some chunk-loaded chunks that I don't really need chunk-loaded. Like perhaps down along here we don't really need chunk-loaded. Yeah, I think that should be fine. And then we can... How many more chunks do I have now? 8? That's exactly how many I needed. Okay. Okay, and then where do we want this? I guess where are we going to have oil processing? This is going to be like kind of down here, I think in the power generator room. So I think let's do it like back here. So let's have a target tank for oil receiving to be like maybe here. So let me go get a tank. It doesn't matter what kind of tank, just any tank. A drum would be fine. It literally just needs to hold fluid in space. Spice. Okay. And then we're going to GPS marker. There we go. So now this GPS marker has that tile saved as a coordinate. And we can go back to our oil thingamabob pump. That's what it's called. And I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. I don't know why. Like I always go the wrong dang way when I am here. Like my internal compass of this area is like permanently rotated the wrong direction. But anyways, here we go. I was like, is it because the sun? No, the sun sets in the west, as you would expect. Let's fix our chunks. This should be wide enough to cover the entire oil field down here. And then put our GPS marker in here. Plop. Okay, well, why does it say it's the target block is air? That's not correct. Okay, if you say so, buddy. I'm pretty sure it's a stone drum, but sure. And now we are sending oil to our stone drum, and it's probably full already. In fact, it looks like it is full because we are filling up oil and not losing any more oil. So that's as simple as oil pumping is. Back to home we go. Yep, there we go. We have a full drum of oil. Fluid.oil, yes. That's definitely what my friends call it. And I've thrown my Void Hunter. There it is. Okay. I love me some fluid.oil. Oh, curious question. Since we are at 3:40 p.m. and I use the liquid starlight, the liquid sunlight, how is the Void World's time? The Void World's time is desynced. Okay, well, that's not a me problem. That is a how the mod works problem, and I'm not gonna worry about it because if they didn't want us doing that, they wouldn't have put the item in the game. But while I'm here, I will go ahead and collect the spoils of my ground traps. And I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this field, so I'll be back in like 1 second. Okay, I'm back from the Void World. Got a whole bunch of wheat and seeds. As you recall, those are still going to continue being useful for chicken breeding, so we don't want to just ignore them. And then, honestly, this is like all food stuff for the most part, so let me just throw that all in there. Did it do it? Okay, it did do it. And then any new items that are now in this chest that weren't here before, it should start sucking them into this chest via the polymorphic item sync, and then all of these chests over here having quick sort modules, so if we wait long enough, we'll, yep, see something just flew over there. And the reason it's doing that is because quick sort basically says, hey, if there's an item in this inventory that goes somewhere else, put it there. And polymorphic says, hey, if there's something in this chest, it belongs in that chest. That does not work with the default mode of item sync modules, but it does work for polymorphic syncs and other like explicitly set filters. So we can see there it's sucking some items in. Apparently I put candles over there. That's okay, we can have candles over there. Oh, you know what? I also forgot that we have a new type of light source. We've actually had it for a long time. I just like totally spaced and forgot it existed. We can take mineral berries. I'm also going to take a few stacks of wood here. And we're going to put the wood to go in the sawmill. Because our wood supply is actually getting a little low. But the new source of light source that we have is... we can take stick, and we can also take stone rods. But what we can do with the mineral berries is we can combine them with cobblestone and make some mineral stone torches. Or we could make them with stone rods. Or we could also just use wood to make them. So, yay, new light source that we don't have to use wax and cotton for, you know? And there's a bunch of mineral torches for us. And they're the exact same, I believe. Yeah, they're the same, like, brightness-wise, but they are... well, they look like this instead of that. And they're way easier to make. So let's go up here really quick. We know that there's potential spawning happening in this area, so let's take care of this really quick. Okay, and go up there. Go up here. Plop, plop, plop. It doesn't, like, look the best, but, like, I would prefer this being lit up over having monsters randomly spawn up there. Doesn't look too bad either if I, like, place them somewhat symmetrically as well. There we go. Kind of like the mineral look, actually. Maybe we replace all the candles while we're up here, just with mineral torches. So we don't have a mix of multiple types of torches. Probably would drive some people insane. Okay, there we go. That's looking nicer. Alright, let's go back to home. Here, on the other hand, there's so many torches down here, we're just going to leave them as is. We don't need to worry about this lighting in here, so I'm just going to leave that off. Mineral torch we can have be in here, and then I will keep a stack of these on me, but the rest can go away. I don't need the mitts. Don't really need the Akashic Tome right now. Mineral wood can go away. Straw can go away. Straw is good to go drink some liquid starlight for 5 minutes of night vision, but... okay, oil processing. Did I make a list of what we need? So we have oil and remote power set up. We need canola. Okay, canola. Canola. We're going to be using the canola chicken because the canola chicken just basically makes the seeds, and then we don't have to have a wheat farm or a crop farm. So we're going to need to make 2 of these guys. I see we need some liquid starlight. That's fun. Oh, we're going to need some crystallized canola seeds for this, huh? So we're going to need some canola to start with. Canola. Oh, we don't have that much. Cool. I guess we're going to have to grow some canola first before we can do anything with this. So there's the... Okay, so it's giving us the checklist for the canola being done. We could use our phytogenic insulator, though, and then canola we can turn back into canola seeds. So that would be like kind of our tech way of getting canola if we wanted to. Maybe let's pursue this. So we have... We can also alchemy array this into candleberry. Good to know. Okay. Well, I think let's go ahead and look at that. So there's 3 types of flux, and the flux amount is going to dictate how much output we're going to get out of our insulator. And then some other upgrades I want to make to our insulator quick. We can upgrade it with, so the phytogenic insulator is a thermal expansion machine, which accepts thermal expansion upgrades. But if we look right now, augmentation is not supported because we need to upgrade the machine first. So if we go to thermal expansion, there's something called these upgrade kits that let us upgrade a machine to a higher tier. And let's go ahead. Do we have bronze gears? We do not have bronze gears automated, but let's just go ahead and craft some manually, I guess is fine. Let's craft it up as high as we can get it. So hardened glass, can we make hardened glass? Yes. No. Okay, this is MB alloy smelter. We could make an MB alloy smelter. Do we want to make an MB alloy smelter? Now I'm like going down a freaking rabbit hole, right? We definitely can't make cryothium right now. Because we don't have any of this stuff. Okay. So let's go here, and then silver gear we can do. And then what else do we need? We need some electrum. Electrum we got, so that's fine. And then we need some invar. Invar we got. So just request it, so it's going to be here when we're ready to go. Let's go make our bronze and silver gear really quick. What is that noise? Is that the extruder? That sounds like the polarizer. What is... Oh, it's the arc furnace noise. Okay, that's weird. I wonder if it's using the arc furnace noise on purpose or if that's a bug, because that seems kind of like an odd noise. Okay, so let's make a... We need an alloy smelter for MV. This guy. Ooh, and we're gonna need to make 4 of those really quick. I don't think it's going to be that quick, actually. Yeah, because it needs to cook up those ingots from scratch, and then it's going to have to wire mill them all, so that's going to actually take a second. What else do we need for this? I can go ahead and cook up the MV machine hole. Request that, so it's on its way. Oh, the wires are already all done. Okay, well, maybe I over-exaggerated how long that was going to take to cook. Let's go make a spot for it over here. Again, we're just kind of adding to our row of one generator machines over here, and we are just hoping that we do not run out of space there, essentially. Because we don't need a lot of MV things right now, but the things we do need are like... Yo, we need this at the moment to be able to do stuff and things. Alright. Request that. We should have our circuits already stocked. We should have this stocked. So, yep, we should have this all done nice and quick. And then how do we actually make the reinforced glass? I totally forgot that. The hardened glass is obsidian and lead dust. Okay. And we need 2 of them, I believe. So Lead dust is, we need 4 of those, and then we need 2 obsidian, which are in our EMC table. Perfect. And then let's go over here, cook her up. And they cook pretty quickly, actually. Good stuff. Okay, and then we can make our upgrade now. So we can make our reinforced upgrade kit. Most likely. Here, use that one, actually, please. Oh, and everything's here. Okay, so there's our reinforced upgrade kit. And then we have also upgrade kit of... Where is the other one? Upgrade at thermal, please. There's too much junk in here. Okay, upgrade kit for this one. Where's our bronze gear? I must have left it in the extruder. Here it is, yep. Alright. Request the redstone, I guess, is all that's missing. And then one thing you can do if you don't want to apply these one by one is that you can actually make these into a conversion kit, which lets you directly upgrade any machine to this tier. So, there we go. This phytogenic insulator is now the reinforced tier, which means it also has 2 augmentation slots. So let's take a quick look at augmentation. So thermal. I think these are the augmentation slots here. So we have the auxiliary reception coil, processing speed increase. This increases the secondary output. So that would be like for the secondary output of canola seeds, it would be this, I think. This is the secondary output, I believe. It would be more seeds, so it would increase the seed output. Machine secondary nullifier destroys the secondary output. Okay. Phytogenic insulator efficiency. Provides a chance not to consume fertilizer. That seems really good. But we need sterling silver and hard lumium glass. Okay, so we need hardened glass, which we can make. And then we would need lumium, which we need nitrogen to make. And we also need Canthal coils on our EBF, so we cannot make that one. Okay, past that one for now. Phytogenic insulator allows for trees to be grown. Okay, so this is if we want to grow trees. You know, I might actually like do this for some of our Pam's Harvest Craft trees so that we could get some fruits, and then with the fruits we can make like jellies, and then we can have finally our sandwich plan that I had planned a long time ago and then like kind of forgot to actually do. You remember that one? Because like, I mean, we have, where's our salt actually? Salt is part of our cooking supplies. Honey and bread are in there, but salt is something we are missing. So let's put salt in here, and this chest is going to suck all of the salt into that chest from the other ones. But let's see, what other options do we have? Phytogenic insulator, specialization, non-fertilizer inputs are not consumed. Improving automation provides a minor chance to not consume fertilization. That one seems good, but again, it requires a flux phyto growth, so we can't use that. Adds intelligent auto input capability to this sequential fabricator. We're not using that. Sequential fabricator we're not using, and the alchemy imbuer. What is the alchemy imbuer? Alchemical imbuer? What does this do? Brews potions. Oh, okay. Provides a chance not to consume reagent. Okay, okay. Okay, not worry about that then. So the only upgrade we'd really be able to use is, augments. We'd be able to take the reception coil, which doesn't look that hard to make. Like, we might as well just make 2 of these and throw them in there. So let's do that really quick. Big segue of processing just for, you know, finding out, oh, actually, we're not going to be doing all that stuff. Alright, and then let's get 2 sets of gold bars on the way here. I think we don't actually have any gold bars. Yes, we don't actually have the gold bars, so like all the automated systems have to go cook them all. There go some gold bars. The gold plates should be done soon. Oh, and gold plates are kind of slow here. Speed that one up over there. How's our power doing right now? Power is, are we okay on power? We're okay on Steam at the moment. What's my throttle set to? 75%? This uses 50%, and then everything else uses more, depending on how much we have up. But we are maxed on coke here, which is what I wanted to see, so now we're just building up the charcoal, which is good. Alright, let's get our coils and then be done with this diversion. Coils, augments. Alright, here we go, and we can throw the augments in there directly, and there we go, there's our augments. We can take them out if we want, but that is fine. Alright, next step, we need some Fido grow? Alright, so we have two options. We can make Fido grow, we can make rich Fido grow, or we can make the fluxed Fido grow, which is rich Fido glow that we put energy into with the energetic infuser. Which I don't know if we can actually make, because we need signalum for that. I think we should be able to make signalum. How do we make signalum? Signalum, oh, we need nitrogen for that. We can make this. We can make the signalum dust with a LV mixer. So we have everything we need to make this. We just can't cook the ingots at the... This seems unintended. Yeah, I don't feel like we're supposed to be able to... And then in the arc furnace too, yeah, this is probably an error here. So out of respect for the intended, what's supposed to be done, I don't think we're gonna do that. So we are gonna say that fluxed Phytogrow is currently out of the picture because we cannot make signalum, legitly anyways. So our other option is a rich Phytoglow using saltpeter, which I don't think we can make. Salt and liquid starlight in a autoclave. We can make saltpeter. Okay, never mind. With charcoal and rich slag. And rich slag we can also make in an autoclave. And we have a lot of slag. So you know what? We're going to make Phytogrow. Rich Phytogrow, in fact. And we are hungry again. That is not my lunchbox. Here we go. Lunchbox. Maybe after this I look at all of the various things I have and we make some actual food, huh? Alright, so autoclave, go. Alright, that's going to take a second unless we speed it up. So let's speed it up a bit. And then saltpeter we do not have, so let's just use regular salt and turn it into saltpeter. Saltpeter is also called potassium nitrate, I believe. And saltpeter is like significantly slower, but it does take less power, so we can speed it up again. Potassium nitride, yep, that's correct. Alright, and then these we have to mix with charcoal dust, which, once again, we do not have. But you know what? We do have a lot of charcoal. Charcoal is a thing we do be having. So let's go ahead and we can just go up here, crush that up. And how do we make this again? Do we just mix it in a crafting grid? Yeah, okay, easy enough. I'm gonna speed this up a bit more. Let's borrow a battery from somewhere. Don't use this battery a whole lot. Oh, we're out of liquid starlight. Of course, I should have looked at that first. Let's go up and let's get our big cell. Cell. Get a bit more liquid starlight. Oh, and it's raining. Hey. I really missed like just having random weather, even though the weather probably doesn't look that great on camera, but we're not outside long enough to matter, so. Alright, there we go. Filled up our cell. Ooh, it's cold. We can't run. It's okay. We'll only be a second. Dump this in here. Speed it up. There it goes. Drain that battery, baby. Oh, you know what? I also remembered we can do this now. We can take our battery and I believe put it in an extractor. So an extractor is going to take the sodium that's in there. It's going to take it out. Wow, that's really slow for some reason. So now we have an empty battery again, but we can take, which one's lithium? This one? We now take lithium, slap some lithium in that bad boy, and now, instead of a battery that has a capacity of 125 seconds of power, we have 3 minutes of power. A whole, not as big of an upgrade if you do the math. 50% upgrade? I mean, it's something, I guess. But, hey, it is an upgrade, and we can do that for all of our batteries if we wanted to. Anyways, let's lock the fertilizer slot. Let's make our phyto-grow. Yikes, that's a lot of phyto-grow. Okay, well, did you hear we like phyto-grow in this household, apparently? Okay, phyto-grow, let's go, I guess. And then canola. And then more canola. Ooh, this actually, like, do you see what happens there? We don't have enough water coming in here. This uses a lot of water. So let's see if we can speed up our ever-full urn. What does that look like now? It's giving us water, but it's, like, still not able to keep up with the demand here. It's kind of funny, actually. Our bottleneck is water, of all things. Alright, so here's 1 stack of canola. We need 2 stacks of seeds, if you recall. Alright, and we don't really need to overdo this. Looks like our water got unaccelerated. Alright, just 1 more. And then we have a bunch of extra seeds and canola. What is actual canola used for? Nothing in this mod pack. But there we go. We've got canola seeds out the wazoo. And next we need to mix them with mineral resin to make crystallized. So to get mineral resin we need... we can use a centrifuge. I think for now, actually, we're just gonna use the squeezer, maybe. Yeah, let's just use a squeezer, because mineral is going to give us quite a lot of that. So we need 50, we need 64 times 2, so 64 times 2 times 50, so 7 mineral. And then a drum to actually catch the fluid. So this is how you get liquid out of the squeezer. There are these notches on the side. Oh, I guess the notches where I have this redstone set up, isn't it? Yeah, because the redstone torch is under here, so I can't break that side. I don't think it gives anything else in the squeezer, right? No, just mineral resin. Okay, so we should be fine to just temporarily replace the chest then. Pick up the chest, put our drum there. So now with the notch going into a tank, we should be able to catch the mineral resin. Yeah, look at that. Heck yeah. Alright, there's all the mineral resin we need. And then you can go back, and then you can turn off. And then chemical bath. Which one's our chemical bath? Where did I put our chemical bath? Oh, it's over here, right? Okay. And we have starlight in it. That's okay. We can just take the starlight out. And we can't pipe this in with that. Yeah, we can't do that. Can we use like this on this? No, we can't use that on that. Or vice versa. Okay, so we're gonna have to try to manually get this in here, huh? So let's use a fluid duct, should be fine. I'll use the ender fluid conduit so it doesn't get any stuck in the physical pipe. And we do not want it going in our mixer, so let's disconnect that one. Let's drop our drum here. And we're going to extract and insert into there. There we go. And crystallize away, baby. And that's going to take a minute. So let's accelerate this. Oops. Oops. That's a big whoops there. I took the battery out on accident. Alright. Let's get the rest of the stuff ready that we need in the meantime. So we need liquid starlight. Let me dump this in here. In fact, we have liquid starlight here, so let me just take a cell, 4 cells of liquid starlight and move it over manually, since we already have some down here. Yoink. Put it in our mixer. We need infinity dust and smart chicken, so infinity dust. 2 of those. Don't believe we have any chickens in here. No, we don't. That would have been weird if I did. Alright. Grab 2 smart chickens. How is this working? It's working. It's just not the fastest thing in the world. We can put our lithium battery in here. Hold up, hold up. Check this out. Zoom. It's the same thing. It just lasts longer. There it goes. Yeah, and we're out of power there. And do we have any other batteries we can sacrifice? Sacrifice battery to the canola gods. Yeah, kind of the only thing I'm really doing is like accelerating the the other batteries from charging. How are we doing on aluminum? This setup is still working, so that's good to see. Since we have... It's currently raining in here. Let's put some glass. Since we have that semi-need of starlight underground there. So let's put a glass block up there. Okay. This isn't like the prettiest thing ever, but it's gonna work for now. I'll probably move this at some point in the future. Aluminum is still going. Look how much we have, though. So nice. So nice to have this much aluminum. And how much salt did we end up getting over here? A fair amount of salt. Yeah, I think we can do some significant stuff with cooking here. Walnuts do... I need to look to see what options do what with this, because, for example, if we are going to want to make sandwiches, we're going to need something like chestnut butter or something. Some kind of butter. What is this called? This is called List All Nut Butter. So, List All Nut Butter. So we can make peanut butter with peanuts. We can make almond butter with almonds. We can make cashew butter with cashews. Chestnut with chestnuts, and would you... I bet you pistachio butter is made with pistachios. Oh, man. Wow. But we don't have any of those nuts, right? We have walnuts. Can I sort this differently? No, we can only sort by name or count. Okay. We don't actually have any of said nut for tree, so I would need to like go out in our world and find more nut trees and bring them home. Anyways, we can actually go ahead and start making our canola chicken here, at least the first one. Where is that quest that we just did? Is it in here? Oh yeah, it's this one, okay. Yo, also oil cell. I hate that it wants us to pick up a cell for like no reason, but I guess I'll do it for the quest. Can I pick it up and put it back before the thing fills it? I probably couldn't, so that's why I moved the drum somewhere else. So there we go. Oil is done. Mineral crystal is what we're going to be using as well. Yo, I forgot. We're also going to need mineral chicken, too. Facepalm. We should have done this earlier. Alright, well. Mana powder is easy to make with fluxed grow, at least. There we go. There's mana powder that we're going to need. Oh, wait. But do we need 2 of them? We need 1 per chicken. Okay, so I need another one. Whoops. Something about making more than you need, but I never do that because I like to do, like, as much as I need, and it's, like, kind of horrible. Alright, we also need mineral chicken. So this guy, 2 of those. We need 2 more infinity powder. Oh, we need to go get more stupid mineral resin now. 4 of them, and then I think we're gonna hit a wrapping up point here. We're gonna finish setting up the rest of diesel once we... Whoops, not like that. Once we get our, like, chickens and stuff all situated. Alright, that's done. Yeah, and you know how we needed our resin in our tank earlier? Oh, no, go put it over there. Okay, whatever. We have cells to move it. I don't know why there's water in here. Let's just go ahead and plunge it. Oh, I think it was from when we were making dough earlier. But the rest of our chickens, we need 2 more infinity dust. Infinity dust. Okay. And why are you not crafting? Oh, we need program circuit 6 for some reason. Interesting. Why do you not craft? I don't know where, like, the conflict in mixer configurations is for some of this to need program circuits and the other not to need it. But, okay, I guess. This is still going over here. This takes, like, a long time to process these seeds, actually. And we're also going to need some extra machines now that I'm looking at this, because we're going to need to be making these seeds downstairs. We're going to need to be making this resin downstairs. So we're going to need a centrifuge. We're going to need a chem bath. So let's add a list over here. So centrifuge, chem bath. We have 2 distillery already listed. Oh, let me move that next to the other machines. Canola is imminent. So I'll go ahead and mark that one as done. I'm like, where'd the chickens go? I'm like, oh, it must have gone to our output chest over there. Okay. Don't panic. Throw the lithium battery in here. I'm just trying to speed this up. Finish up our episode here. There we go. Back to program circuit 3 to finish this off. Give it 1 tick of acceleration. Even give it a battery and give it another tick. Alright, excellent. Alright, and then just one more thing we need to do with these chickens. We need to go... That's right, breed them up. But I think that's enough for this episode. I'm going to go ahead and breed them up off camera. I'm going to craft some of these extra machines we're going to need, and then next time we'll be setting everything up. But until then, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and if you're enjoying the series, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, etc. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Goodbye.